I've been humbled back into my play-by-play commentator position now. That was a really hard question, my man. So I think this game is underway. They have started these mids and they've actually rolled out a very nice little neat package. We're straight into it. They're just going to quick refresh of the HUD and we're back into it. Yite does actually decide to take that health back, so he will be sitting back for the majority of this Uber. Doesn't really get a chance to get some damaging, aggressive stickies on. And Ascent are just playing back, kind of playing almost that style they were playing on that last map over on Sunshine. And Svift don't want to change up their strategy either. They're just going to hold back, let Ascent make the mistakes. They will eventually go aggressive, play off that high ground, and that's the reason why it's so cherished on Brack. High ground kind of makes everything easier.
Kind of a lucky outcome here from Ascent, because it looks like they're going to take the fight. Bot mode, getting the frag of Bedonsky, but they can't do much more than that. And now the bomb is coming in from High Five and Zilly getting a fragment to Nursing. Maybe they can get another one on board, which is getting helped by Marmalou here. The fight is still going on, Turbo Tabs. No one is looking like they want to take the mid for good, but maybe Swift is taking it right now. But yeah, I was mentioning that was kind of lucky for Ascent to take the middle. In the end, they don't take it, but everyone was weak for so long on Ascent, especially Bedonsky. I feel like he was on 30 HP for 5 seconds straight, while the heals were a bit better on skis. So maybe some kind of heal management issues for Nercy.
I mean, I do wonder if Ascent ever see Bedonsky, because I just don't see the kid get any heals. He just likes to just sit back on that red HP, live things on the edge. Who knows, maybe he was screaming his mate, please don't heal me, slap it all on board. But board looked a bit like confused whether or not he should go in, whether he should stay back. I'd like to see him kind of assert himself then, maybe kind of lay his life on the line for his medic, and then maybe she can get out and kind of pick things up from there. They're going to hold on to second points, and they have to worry about this overcharge over on Ascent. They have got this looming over. They will attempt the life of Skis there, and he won't pop it, and he's doing a wonderful job of actually kind of being brave and holding on to this Uber, realizing how important it is and how big of a weapon it is to actually pushing into this last point.
Nice kite of the situation here from Ascent, managing to get the Uber and not bleeding everyone. So now they're going to hold on the last. We can see kind of a weird situation here, because Ascent have a sniper, but this is not Boar.
Oh no, and actually, yeah, it's actually going to be our man Paddy, the one that's kind of turning up for that last game, and maybe he's just feeling it right now over on that the DM. He wants to kind of poke from this one, but it's kind of got some stickies on it right now. Bot mode will actually be the first one to announce his presence on Sniper. He gets a clean little snipe, and just so many talented snipers in this game on Brack.
Yeah, remember bot mode. Oh, he's going for the pick onto Nursey, but we remember bot mode going completely bonkers. I think that was against King's Cruel yesterday when he had that form and kill streak. But I think Paddy playing sniper just goes to show that that man wants to do everything in his team. I mean, Boar is a really able sniper, so why wouldn't you let him play sniper instead of you?
Yeah, I mean, usually the phrase goes, if you're... Actually, I can't remember the phrase at all, but
you're missing the idiom, right?
I am missing the idiom. What a rare moment for me and my cast, but both of these teams sitting back, waiting. Boar is brought out the sniper rifle, so we're in for a treat. This guy has got a hell of a reputation. I'm not sure if he's been keeping note on Brack. He's a scary sniper, man.
And we can see both mode as well getting picked up by Bedonsky with a sneaky, sticky trap here. But this isn't enough for Ascent to push out of this. They have no scouts right now because Paddy is building up a sentry gun. So we're here for a treat. We're here to wait forever. So I'm not sure this is actually a treat. Oh. This may be a curse.
What a kind of a weird moment. They actually had the engineer up and the sentry gun set up, and Paddy decides to go spy to check the off classes. He will kind of compromise his sentry gun that he set up there to do such a thing. And he goes back on scout. He's actually, maybe they're looking to push out here. What a car crash of a jump from aim. I guess the snipe kind of set him a bit confused, and it jumped in the wrong direction, clipped on something, and ended up dying. But this is an opportunity for Ascent now. They're looking at these doorways, Boar seeing if he can peek around these corners, and they have to kind of pressure him out. And this compromises the position of Zilly, makes it very easy for that jump from the soldier, from Marmalou, to actually get that pick onto him now. And they're doing good progress here on Ascent, spamming them out, pushing them out. Maybe they might get a pick-off kill onto one of these players. Oh no, actually an overextension coming out from Marmalou, so they will get the second point off the back of that, but they could think about making this push in from Svift, and it starts off with a nice bomb from aim, get some good damage in. He goes in for a second bomb, launches Skis up into the air, actually Nursey up into the air, as you have the demo man actually being bullied, pushed back, dealt with
Paddy
by
is
the
melting
patch.
Yai with a pistol. That was completely amazing from Paddy.
Oh my
he
God,
claims
it gets
another
a
fragment
kill.
to Ziri. What a play here from the scout.
Oh,
and
big
Marmalou is on the proc. Can he get the fragment to Skis? He gets it.
Oh, big boy Marmalou. What a very nice kind of quick bomb coming in from him. He must have got that little ramp hit over at the choke to get those sort of speeds on Aroma to catch up with that medic. Maybe they should have gone the other way if you were Skis. All right, so things have kind of calmed down a little bit. Both teams have done a lot of trading, so they will kind of reset things back, and nobody loses a massive amount of objective places over here on this map. They will actually give up this midpoint because Ascent did turn up to this mid a little bit quicker than Svift, and they will get that respawn advantage because of it now. But both Ubers are kind of, actually no, it's a little bit favored to Nursey. So, oh yeah, because with Skis going down so late in that last fight from the Marmalou pick, I mean, I was so checked out from it, I thought Skis still lived.
So now we can see Bedonsky trying to pick his way into choke. The Uber has been used on the flank by Nursey onto Paddy. Once again, Paddy is trying to go onto roll up. He can't do any much more than this. And for once, Paddy realizes he can't get it any more greedy, and Ascent just basically used the Uber to secure the position. But now it's going to be an Uber ad in the ends of Skis, and maybe Swift will try to make something with it.
I wonder if they're thinking about making the back cap here over on Ascent while all this is going down. They actually looks like they want to take the fight. Scout wants to go lower during all this. They're posturing for a back cap, but they just can't run away from all of these players over on Svift here. They want to find and just find the rest of these Ascents, make sure they're not going for that back cap. They do a good job with Bedonsky actually cutting off two major doorways those scouts can abuse and get that back cap whilst they make this push from the other two doors.
And it's another back and forth situation. Ubers have been exchanged at some point, but Nursey, of course, is going to have her Uber way before Skis because she's used before. So now another situation where Paddy is going to lead the charge, I'm assuming, but the attempt on PC wasn't really worth it. So maybe it looks like Paddy knows about it. He wants to try something different. He's hitting his team through sewers. The spam is coming in from Swift. Nursey is surfing away. She hasn't used it. She finally has to use the charge, but she's really far away from everyone on Swift. Paddy is going onto the lobby, gets maybe a frag onto the aim. Zilly and aim. No soldiers are alive onto Swift, so maybe this is the time for Ascent to push the last.
Yeah, with two players down, they don't really feel comfortable over on Swift to use that Uber charge advantage that they have, and they're looking to maybe even do a point play over on Ascent. They're peeking these doors, they're having a cheeky look through. Maybe they can even get the force out on them, but those respawners are going to be back now for Swift, so they're going to think twice over on Ascent, head back, and I mean, you could call that a successful Uber, but they got the point, and they did bring it in, and actually, yeah, an early pop coming out from Swift there. I don't know what the danger was. But
that was Marmalou was on lobby and managed to get the force out of Ski. So this is actually the exact same situation. Ascent used the charge to get the second point. Swift calculated the situation a bit and then went back using the charge to go back onto the second point. So it feels like we've seen the same 1 minute onto a replay mode.
It seems maybe Paddy wants to kind of walk in the Uber last time. It seemed he had a different kind of point of objective when it came to the Uber. Paddy didn't want to use it while Nursey did, and it kind of fractured the Uber, but they still made it work. They will pop it off now, and it is quite late, and Paddy is on top of one of these soldiers and will get the pick onto him, but maybe one pick onto one soldier can't be good enough. They are hoping that they can get something else. They're actually pushing this last already, realizing that maybe they don't have the Uber quite yet on Swift, and they could maybe do a point play. Podolski's in position. They've got a scout on there now, and they've got a heavy weapons guy that will commit in a soldier to kind of punish some of these layabouts, and Bedonsky farming these players that dare bring their mugs forward into this fight. They're going to just bank on the heavy weapons guy sitting back and playing off this. They do pop the Uber to make sure that nobody can take the direct fight to Swift, but they kite that a little bit over on Ascent. They keep Nursey alive, and they're going to have an Uber charge ready for this second point. If they don't actually lose the second point to Swift, and I think they will have to give it up just out of respect of the player advantage.
And I think right now Paddy can't be happy with the Uber he's been given because Nursey is using kind of late, early the Uber charge, so Paddy can't get anywhere with the charge. So now, with the minutes going by, Nursey always has a bigger and bigger Uber ad. Now it's a 50%. Paddy's going in a new direction. We haven't seen Ascent doing this so far, going to choke with the charge. Taking that time, once again, taking the sweet dime time. And first, Uber is finally going in a good position here from Paddy. He's going really deep onto Yai, but he kind of weaves the shot. He can't get the frags, and now the two-scap bot mode and Yai will be on his case. He escaped somehow, but Nursey can't, and maybe Svift will be able to go in bot mode with a two clean frag onto Bor, and Marvelou claims the third frag onto Paddy.
Wow, you could see the play that they were trying to make there where on Ascent was Paddy was going to wrap around when Nursey would lose her life, and maybe they could get a back cap going, but the Ascent players don't actually link this play up. They get off the point to fight, lose the fight, and end up not capping that second point, so Paddy couldn't even make that back cap even if he wanted to.
And High Five was just going off with the 3 clean frags. And now maybe Svift will be able to make it coast to coast from their last to Ascent last. They have a sweet Uber ad, and it looks like they want to try to do something similar, going through the high T and skis. As Nursey previously has been forced in a really bad position, they can't do anything with the charge. And he's trying to rotate the damage onto the right side. He's taking the high ground. He's getting completely launched into the air. And Psych claims the frag onto Zilly as well. So now Svift, they have to come back. Marmelou with a spawn is gonna be the nail in the coffin. He's going to 1, 2 rockets, 3 rockets onto Yai.
Yep, Yaite has gone down. They've got a sneaky little scout in his left-hand side. He's actually got a meat shot onto Nurse. He can't find the second one, however, and that was just desperate plays coming out from Svift there. You knew that was a bad Uber. I knew that was a bad Uber. You knew that was a bad Uber. They must have known that was a bad Uber, but they still forced it anyway, and look what's happened now. They've lost their second point. They might even lose mid-point at this point, because they also have an Uber charge over on Ascent. They throw Zilly in to maybe get the force sample. He is controlled. He is isolated. And they're going to maybe get a second point because of the scariness of this Uber and the fact that Skis doesn't have his ready as well.
Paddy's feeling really good right now. Once again, he's leading the push.
Paddy is still going forward. There's no such thing as an SK on this man. Both Ubers have been popped. They're kind of just chasing the Uber back and forth, kind of kiting them around. Paddy wants to go back in. I know he's feeling good right now. The Svift scouts, though, are doing a wondrous job against these other players, but Paddy is still alive. He's been slain, ladies and gentlemen. The Parry reign of terror will end for now. It's just one little soldier, but he's a scout in a similar manner. He's got the shotgun. It's time to go meat shot. Oh no, he can't hit the shot. Zilly will actually taunt. Disgusting showmanship from this man.
What a segment there, Turbo Tap. Just frags all over the place with Paddy going really off, but this time he has been shut down by the rest of Svift, and I can't help but think Nursey has been kind of baited by the rest of his team, of her team, because she just went forward and no one was there to welcome her and to help her getting out of the situation. So now it's going to be Skis with a 50% Uber ad, and with this kind of Uber ad, you could as well take it to the last and make it around. So it's going to be up to Svift to make the better use of the situation.
Yeah, they want to do a slow push in from the left-hand side, maybe hold on to this Uber before they even actually get it, and be careful though. Skis could lose his life. I mean, he has the Uber charge now, but he actually decides to pop it and not drop it. He will get 2 picks. That's Bor, Marmelou under their belt there. They actually may be poking around these doors. It's a bit optimistic though. They will just throw spam out for now and think about maybe throwing a soldier in. AIM is kind of posturing for this, but doesn't really want to commit. Will back off for his team, build the Uber instead, and set up a defense for a likely push from Ascent with their own Uber advantage.
And I feel like one player from Ascent has been really quiet so far. We haven't seen anything from Guy. I feel like we haven't said his name in like 2 or 3 minutes. Ascent trying to make their way out of the first door. Uber has been used by Nursey onto Paddy and Bedonsky. The bomb is coming from Sai. He's been waking up, get a frag onto Yai. So no, they want to sweep. So maybe this is now the time to go in. Sai still in, gets another frag to AIM. That was the wake-up call for Guy. Zilly is pushing with the escape plan.
Skis cuts the side guy, pins him to the crater. Very nice little cut. Look at that. That's gotta hurt.
So apparently we have a power turbo taps. Every time we say one player is feeling a bit down, you say his name and it's just going off. With Ty just being really impressive onto the sewers, but he died, and now it's Skis with a really interesting Uber ad.
High five. Very nice cleanup of the stickies there. Enters the fight. That's cut off the major forcing point that they were banking on over on Ascent there. just because Podolski wasn't paying attention for a moment, and they're going to lose a mid off the back of it. I can understand why they gave up that mid, though. Overcharge is a scary thing. They don't have one. The enemy does. Very simple TF2. So they're going to back off over on that second point, have that overcharge ready, and think about how they're going to approach this fight or approach this defense, whether or not which team decides to step forward. Still 0-0 on this clock.
And believe me or not, Turbo Taps, it's been only 15 minutes. I feel like we've been on process forever, but these two teams, such a back and forth gameplay on both sides. And it looks like we're having the first stalemate of the series. And Sai is still just watching the choke. Kind of a passive hold here from Ascent. I mean, the Ubers are really even, and it doesn't look like Ascent is trying to peak on the choke.
Yeah, this is almost unsettling. Usually there's been action, noise, just constant going about, and now when there's some silence in the game, I think everyone feels a little weird on both of these teams, not just the casters, as they're just kind of staring down these doors, setting up some stickies. I mean, maybe they're talking about some of the problems of the overall game on both of these teams now.
Yeah, it's really just such a big shift into the gameplay from both teams. I mean, we've been looking to pushes all the time, all over the place, and now it looks like they're wanting to just wait. Zilly is trying to make his way, doing the map jumper to the choke, 3 rockets to go in nowhere, and he has to come back to mid aim as well. It looks like they're trying to make some kind of set play here from Swift, but it didn't really work out, and maybe it's going to be up to Ascent now to try to make something happen. We don't see any kind of off classes or even sacks, but Zilly, as I said, is going in. He's trying to surf his way up to North Sea, but it's getting completely shut out by Bedonski and Sai with a shotgun, and Mamadou tried to counter sack onto Skis as well, but he actually got the force onto Skis.
What? What? Oh my God! He actually did get the force onto Skis. I didn't notice that at all. Well, okay, three Uber for Ascent, more than likely. I was too busy looking at the Zilly bomb that the Marmalou bomb just proved to be a little bit better. They actually get a kill going into this mid as well, so they can think about not having to use this Uber or keep going with this Uber. If they leave one scout behind to camp, they can take the fight into Skis and his crew before they get an overcharge to defend with, and that's exactly what they're doing on Ascent right now. They're pushing, slow pushing it. They kind of lose the Sai guy in the cracks of this Svift resistance as well. They will pop off the Uber, and is it such a bad scenario for us? Oh, actually it might be a bad scenario for Svift right now. They have lost a few players, and they don't want to commit into the mid. The last point, though, they still need to camp that second point. Oh, a soldier showed his head in. Paddy will get found out in that little hiding spot and cleaned up. And Svift, they've got an overcharge pretty much now, and they're going to threaten themselves Ascent with it, get that second point. Very, very, very back and forth on Greg.
Losing Sai in this situation with such an Uber ad was a kind of a misplay here from the whole of Ascent. And now Swift is making its way in. I can see aim, high bombing, trying to make some space for his teammates. Mamadou as well. The Condor's bomb is coming from side. Condor any much more than this, and he's surely gonna get cleaned up, but no, he escapes into the escape plan. Nobody died. Mamadou finally the first casualty of this fight, and Sai is getting finally cleaned up by aim. But I mean, maybe Ascent actually bought enough time to get an Uber in time.
Everyone was so low on Ascent on Brack, and it was a miracle that they didn't lose more players than just one there. You actually see some 100 HP bombs coming out from Marmalou to kind of provide space and some breathing room to them. The Ubers will be exchanged out between both of these teams, and they're just going to back off to their corners right now, not run any risks. Svift are fine with this. They're going to get a second point off the back of that. But this last point has been proving so difficult between both of these teams. If they can't do it the last 7 times, what makes me think that they can do it now? Actually, no. Bot mode goes straight in. He's right on top of the medic. Almost gets the kill onto him there, but not brought down low enough. Nursey must have broke a sweat just a little bit there.
And we can expect both mode that was just a sack, and probably going to off-class any minute now. So I'm going to try to make magic work happen. We haven't heard a lot about Boar lately.
Yeah, I mean, he has taken note on Brack. He's heard your cries, and he's gone back onto that sniper class that he's ever so famed for. But do you think you maybe want to see some full-time snipers being slapped down by Ascent at this point of the game?
Considering the playstyle from Ascent were really aggressive, I don't think the sniper would be a much more help. Or maybe that would just be a shift in their game plan. Both mode, I think, has been called as well, so it's going to be a sniper duo going right for us. We can see, I think Marmalou was on spawning check for off classes, so now Ascent is surely aware that both mode is playing sniper, so it's going to be up to Bohr to step up his game and maybe try to get a headshot. The sniper, they have seen each other just going with a body shot. Both mode trying to go really deep onto the roll, but get once again cleared up by Belonsky, and is a sniper pick enough for Ascent to push out? I'm not sure this is, and it looks like for once Ascent is not going to push on a one-man advantage.
Yeah, the disadvantage of running a sniper like this is he's not very good at making these pushes in. So when you get that one-player advantage, he's not really contributing too much to that sort of 6v6 or that 6v5 fight. It's more like a 5v5 if you've got a sniper that can't really join it. And they do make the push in, however, though, they will actually trade out the Ubers, and it looks like Saigai wants to stick around. He wants to keep this fight going and stay in the thick of it, as a lot of these players are meeting a lot of flashes. The collapse is coming in from Ascent now. They've got some good post-Uber positions, but the pipes, the post-Uber pipes are just, then stickies are just a little stronger for Ascent. Oh, nice little shotgun play from his side, but Yite, again, I talked about those stickies. They were kind of turning things around a little bit, almost making these sort of trades, but it slowly went to the way of Ascent, and Ascent, they're going to bring it all the way back to the other side. Again, a lot of hearts are being broken in this round.
We've seen a lot of this situation. I think that was the first time Saigai got an Uber all for himself, so maybe this is a new direction to go in for Ascent. We mentioned this is another equal situation. Bidonsky doesn't look like he cares about it. After all, it's American, he just wants to go all the time. To both aim, and Zilly is going really, really weak, so they can't really deny the entry for Saigai and the rest of his teammates. It looks like Ascent just want to take this fight until the end.
Oh, both Ubers have been issued by these teams, as both of the pockets do get incredibly low and nobody wants to kind of commit. Inside guy does find a nice position to get a crossbow to maybe rejoin this fight while his team keeps up the fighting aggression. Very nice sustain and plan and play from Ascent.
Oh, the bomb from Zilly, cleaning up Nursey with two nice rockets here. He went in unannounced from IT, and no one was able. And
Bohr
almost got caught by surprise by both mode, and that's the first round from Ascent, a 22 minutes round.
It was not a race, it was a marathon in that game there on Brack. They finally get a round on the board, and it's got to hurt because you work so hard as Svift to actually get that round, and you just slip between your fingers so many times.
What a round that was, and in the end, Bohr stepping up, it just turning around to clean up the fragment to both mode, securing the cap, and that's the only second mid of the map, turbo taps.
Yeah, Badonsky unfortunately didn't hit that little ramp slide, so he has taken a bit more extra damage, as well as can't get the health back in time. And Zilly even got the fast rollout. They forced to go and walk on this right-hand side, so they allowed some enough heals for Badonsky to come back to the world of the living, and this is going to hurt them. There's the secret little bomb coming in from the little computer room there. They do kind of counter jump that soldier, and he's been dealt with now. Zilly is looking to maybe make some more counter jumps, but gets actually battered down by a scout. Paddy is raring forward. He actually wants to clean up the players on the mid before he starts to actually chase these players out of mid, and he can't actually finish off that last little soldier. He's just too much trouble, and he will get cleaned up by one of the returning players of Marmalou on that flank area, and they will get that midpoint. But look at this on Brack. You've got Paddy. He's sneaking around. He wants to get this kill onto the medic. They don't see him. He gets a fat me shot. Forces the Uber. Could have got the drop there, but he's going to be happy with the force.
That very nice flanking play here from Paddy, walking in unannounced, forcing Skis to use the Ubers, and now it's going to be a really interesting situation from Ascent. They're one run up, and they have a fully Uber charge, so it's going to be they're surely going to wait for Paddy before pushing in, and we'll see what Swift they have to force the Uber really early if they don't want to concede another round.
I mean, keep in mind on Bragg, they've got full control of this game now, because now one of their win states is just to let the timer run out, let it tick out, and 6 minutes sounds like a very easy, doable objective for Ascent right now. And oh, the drop actually coming out onto Paddy. Because he got kind of cleaned up before he met that Uber. Saigai does a wonderful job of actually closing the gap, getting on top of Skis and denying them of one less option. And Nurse is the only one alive, and actually I think she's caught out here in this no man's land. She will be cleaned up, and Svift are doing a wonderful job of actually turning that around. They started off with that Paddy sticky trap kill.
If that wasn't for that kill from Saigai onto Skis, that push would have been a complete disaster from Ascent. But now the situation is probably kind of even, and I'm pretty sure Ascent will be able to build their own Uber charge for the last and maybe even for the second point, because it doesn't look like Svift is really eager to push on that second point, on that Spire. Zele is on his own, trying to pick on that PC, and the clock is going to start ticking. Only 5 minutes for Svift. We've seen a really close game on Sunshine. It looks like Process is just going to be of the same kind of maps.
It makes me wonder if they'll actually go off the advantage here. They might think it's a lot more sizable than they're actually letting on. When they kind of picked off Nurse, he was the last one to actually be cleaned up, so maybe they thought the respawn advantage might work a bit more in their favor and get that overcharge up a bit quicker. Who knows? We'll have to see a little bit later on if they actually do take the aggression here. It leads me to believe no, as they've got the overcharge now, and I don't see them pushing any chokeways on back.
And Svift, they will have to make every attempt count right now. They can't afford to waste any time. I see them making their way onto Marmalou. The bomb is coming in from Zili, but too nice damage from Bodonsky, cleaning up the frags. Marmalou died as well in the process, but this time he can't get the force out of skis, and Svift wasted 30 seconds. It's still okay. Bot mode looks like bot mode is on the prowl. He has an idea of his own.
He's noticed. He's got the sneak onto Bodonsky. He's right on top, but he can't quite finish him off. He's just so beefy. So beefy. So they're going to have a player advantage, but it's just a scout at the end of the day, and it's going to be hard to kind of make a play off the top of that, especially because they're holding on to mid as well. Keep in mind, he will have that forward respawn. He will come back to his team pretty quickly. Ascent, Marmalou is kind of
Boar
being a
is in.
pest.
Boar almost got the force out of skis, and now with Marmalou behind, 2 HP, can't do anymore. Got airshot by AIM, another airshot to add to the impressive number of airshots from AIM.
I think he's got like 50 or so now.
I think we're above 60 now with TurboTap.
Sweet Jesus, someone needs to stop jumping in the air when fighting up against AIM. You're probably safer on the ground at this point. Look, here's a good example. They actually have this one soldier here, Sly Guy, gets a Uber to really keep himself safe. And what a horrible Uber, actually. Only ever saves Side Guy. They go back, they deal with Zilly, but that's not objectively a good enough Uber to kind of justify this push.
AIM is beefing the rocket into Paddy! Paddy escapes!
Wow, Paddy fighting on despite the 2 HP warrior, and oh, that's got to sting, and that's got to hurt when you, especially we had this entire point of view highlighted during that entire little process of that second point.
Well, AIM won't be happy about it. Apparently, he can only hit people up in the air. When they're on the ground, it's getting way too hard for AIM to aim. And now
he's gonna have to change his name from AIM to Miss.
Whoa, TurboTap's calling the shots. You heard it, the crowd.
I'm sorry, please. I don't get many jokes. Ombrax the savage one. Okay, so AIM is sitting up on this second point, towering over his teammates, waiting for his Uber charge to get built up, and God, this last point has just been such a task for Svift to deal with all game. They haven't had one successful attempt, and now they've got 2 minutes left to find it in their bones to make it happen. They actually get the sentry gun kill and a very nice set of kills to kind of follow it up with, but Ascent, they just rotate round, they clean up those 2 kills. They're not really even committing on the side of Svift. They actually will use the Uber in now, but they've got their own Uber. They did drop Bodonsky. That's a massive kill for Svift now. They can maybe start playing this point, and oh, they're actually doing it. The soldiers are coming in, they batter them off. They brought this to a tie on Brack.
That was a clinical push here from Svift. They managed to kill Paddy, and they realized that with the MVP of Ascent down, they could just walk in, and then Bodonsky dying. Really, you mentioned a really crucial pick here from Svift, and all they had to do was just to walk over the point again, the cap. So 1 minute 30 seconds, Svift equalizing at the end of the map.
Yeah, Yite he wants to enter the mid, but he's just being battered back by all this spam before he gets to a bleeding health pack. It's going to be a cruel third mid for the boy, as he will kind of punch up with his team, and they're looking for just someone to kind of step past that line, kind of overextend on Svift, counter jump maybe. Now they'll decide that too much time has passed. They do get the kill to Bodonsky, that's quite nice, but they committed 2 players, and they farmed those kills with the rest of Ascent there, and the position's looking a bit better. They've actually got a lot of healthy cap time on there. I don't know what that soldier's doing in there. AIM, he really wanted that help back for whatever reason. Yite gets cleaned up. Bo is going forward right now. He actually finds the kill at the skis. He wants the scout kill. He needs the scout kill. Oh, he actually gets denied the scout kill. Bot mode slaps him down. No dreams for you, Law. ball.
Well, in the end, he got what he was asking for. He got the medic onto Skis, so now it's going to be an interesting app for us. And Skis is still up. No buffs onto the side of Swift, so Ascent, they have to make it now.
30 seconds left. They've got the crit squeak up for Svift to maybe turn this around if the fight gets elongated out. They have to make this push, and I don't think they have time to get an overcharge ready. They've got the heals on their side. There's a heavy weapons guy. He closes the gap. Paddy, he's juking this heavy for so long. He's still alive. He gets the crossbow. He's still fighting for his team. They're going to start pressure at this point. There's too much to do with them. There's a sentry gun. There's Yite on Demoman. They're still patting people down. They play up the point. It's a stalemate. Ombrak, a second golden cap in this series.
What is this? What is this? I think this is the closest game we've seen so far. Another golden cap, and that push. Paddy juking that heavy for so long, almost making a win out of this push, but in the end, I think that was Yite just hitting the pipes when it mattered and saving the point for his team.
Big Yite, big Paddy, big names from both of these big teams, and it's going to be a big golden cap on Brack.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm breathless.
Now, Ombrak, I'm going to have to ask you the impossible question. I need you to choose between these two teams. Who deserves it more between these two?
I think it's really hard to decide. I think it was such a back and forth game. We've seen so much action around the second part of, I think I was at Swift, where Ascent was pushing in, using the charge to take the space, and then Swift was replicating with their own charge. And I think we've been on this situation for like 5 good minutes. So now, I don't think anyone can call a winner.
Have you got a coin? Maybe we should just do it like that. It would be more merciful between both of these teams. I mean, I can't really. I have to keep my eyes open for the sake of casting, but at the same time, I can't look.
It's going to be really tight, and I can't even begin to imagine what both of these teams are thinking right now. I mean,
all right. Ombrak, I've got away. We know that we want this this series to go to a third map. It's been A+ TF2 right now.
Go Ascent.
Go Ascent, in my
Totally
opinion.
not biased.
No bias here. We just want some good TF2. That's our bias right now, Ombrak.
And it could really go for Ascent, but it could go either way as well. And I wanna highlight the performance of Saigai. I mean, he
stepped up.
Yeah, like his first 10 to 15 minutes were really rough, and then as soon as we called him bad, he just stepped up and went off. And this is it. Turbo Tap, the golden cap is starting right now.
All right, if you're just joining us, it's the second golden cap of this best of 3. It is our second map process. If Swift get this, they are in. They are taking the next step into their long Cinderella story, but Ascent could still tie this out and bring it to a third map. Let's see how these mids go for either of these teams, and no early frags coming out from so far. Actually, they will find the kill onto Zilly. That was probably just a space-creating bomb, and you can see the tension.
They're so cautious. Yeah. They're already leaving the mid. We've never seen this so far.
That is golden cap. It is a scary time. You don't want to make these big mistakes, throw away the rounds. It's time for just going for these little advantages and just going for these little defenses and backing out. Safer than sorry is the motto of
the bomb is coming in. Marmalou, no rocket. High five with a 2 nice shot onto Marmalou, completely deleting the soldier from the map. And now it's going to be up to Swift to make anything happen. But I mean, this is going to be really hard for them to break the hold. Zilly speaking onto IT, but he's been spotted. It's going to be really hard for him to make anything, to make any kind of bombs onto Nursey. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's probably up now to Ascent to break the hold. I mean, they have the middle. And let's remind everyone of the rule. There is no time limit here. Only the winner of the round will take it.
I hope you've ordered some food there, audience. I hope you packed some sandwiches. We could be here for a long, long time if both of these teams don't have any nerves in them to kind of chalk up the courage and just go forward, get that bomb going, just get some sort of snowballing maneuver. And actually, they've gone for the safer play on the set. They've bought out, or is it a safe play? Maybe it's guaranteed because you do have that famous Boar sniper. And statistically, eventually he's going to find a kill like that one if you give him enough time. And Boar, he's just warming up for the crowd at this point on Brack. He's got a body shot. He's slowly ascending. Maybe he can kind of check around from this pipe room. Doesn't really find the sight lines that he's looking for. He wants his teammate to kind of keep the door open for him so he can get the snipe out. He will actually take open the door himself. But the scout, look at that pressure from that scout there, making sure he doesn't get a chance of a shot.
And what if Bo was the hero? He's been kind of really quiet during this map, but what if He's just going off right now with a nice body shot onto the Scout. Maybe Scout is getting caught out of position, and I see Bidonsky is trying to trap that Scout. I think High Five Boar is getting the frag, claiming the frag onto High Five, and maybe this is what Boar needed to make his way. He's trying to peek, he's getting bombed, and aim is completely denying that attempt from Ascent.
I mean, but time is a ticking here on Bragg. I mean, in a sense of the sniper can eventually and almost guarantee a kill if you just give him enough time.
Look at Marmaloo, look at Marmaloo.
No, but look at Boar as well. Everyone is kind of, Boar will actually be the one that will get the kill onto bot mode. So with that little pick, maybe it frees up some room onto Boar to kind of make his magic happen. Everyone is hiding from Boar right now. He finds a tiny little sideline. He sees the heal. He sees the body.
Marmaloo!
Onto skis. That has opened it up for Ascent. Now they've got 100% Uber. They can start sailing this into their second point. Start sailing this into their last point. They've got the Uber charge ready, and Boar is still around on that sniper.
What if Boar was the hero, Turbo Tab?
It's all is forgiven, Boar. If you can circle this back for your team right now, I'm sure everybody will mark you as the hero. Paddy will make this easy for him. He opens up the kill. They've got that point pressure. It's just the Yite left on that last point, and he has to stay and stick around there. They're actually cleaning this up. High Five dancing around this point. Won't get
They're going to make it. It's only Yite up. What can he do? He's getting killed by Boar.
The golden cap. The best of three has been invoked. The third map is happening. Nursey is on his feet. He is squeezing. His comrade is, everyone's happy, everyone's excited. I need to calm down.
What a clutch play here from Boar. I think when you think about